In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Native Americans staged protests across the United States, including in Lake County, Illinois, to fight for better housing, education, employment, and social services. Origins of the movement were rooted in part in the 1953 Indian Termination Policy passed by the U.S. Congress. This policy eliminated most government support for Native nations and ended protected trust status of Native-owned land.
3 years later, the Indian Relocation Act of 1956 encouraged and forced Native people to leave rural reservations by paying for one-way tickets to urban centers such as Chicago. The goal was for Native people to acquire vocational skills and assimilate into the general population. Through propaganda pamphlets, the Bureau of Indian Affairs promoted a better life and showed a positive image of Native peoples living in these new locations. The reality was much harsher, as Native people struggled to find well-paying jobs, faced discrimination, and lived in adequate housing. Many felt a lack of connection to their heritage and traditional homelands in these isolating urban settings.
In 1970, a Menominee woman, Carol Warrington, was evicted from her Wrigleyville apartment after refusing to pay rent due to its poor conditions. This eviction sparked a movement, and the Chicago Indian Village emerged to fight for better housing and the promised social services for the 16,000 Native residents of Chicago at the time. The Native-led organization set up a 2-month encampment on a Wrigley Field parking lot to protest the poor living conditions. After leaving the original site, Ojibwe leader Mike Choza planned 7 more encampments throughout Chicagoland to raise awareness of the issues Native people faced. 2 encampments were held in Lake County, one outside the main gate at Fort Sheridan and another at Camp Logan, a National Guard base in Zion.
The protests and encampment at Fort Sheridan began on January 2, 1972, when the group of roughly 30 constructed teepees outside the main gates of the fort. The encampment interfered with Army business and forced the post to close its main gates on Sheridan Road. The Army wanted to remove the small group of remaining 10 Native people from the gates, but allowed them to remain. The gates of Fort Sheridan became a spectacle for locals. Some came to taunt the group, while others offered support for the cause by dropping off food, blankets, and supplies. Due to the harsh winter conditions, children were sometimes housed in community centers like the American Legion Hall in Highland Park. The encampment was supported by many Native people, including Carol Warrington, the original person to ignite the protests.
After agreements were made with the Army to be provided housing until March, the group began moving to Camp Logan on January 6, 1972. The group was granted permission to use 2 barracks, which lacked plumbing, heat, and electricity, making it difficult to live in during the winter months. By the summer of 1972, the momentum behind the Chicago Indian Village was exhausted, and the group eventually dispersed. Despite the lack of support and attention the movement hoped to gain, Native people bonded together and began to form new ways to retain cultural identities by creating community organizations. The struggle to advocate for Native rights and sovereignty continued after the Chicago Indian Village shut down and continues on today.